kind of gets to me when I see war tossed around casually in conversations, talking about football players. We go to war every Sunday, or I go to war with you. I'm like, don't say that. That's, to me, it means a completely different thing. War is not this casual thing. Oh, I'm at war, trying to make this decision. No, it's not that lighthearted to where it's a very, very serious thing. I can't impress upon people enough how hellacious combat truly is. It's the worst of human behavior. That I never want to see another war ever again as long as I live. Diplomacy needs to be on the table at all times, because war is just that bad.
When you say what you say, it not only makes me very upset and very emotional, it reminds me of how much I hate my congressional representative. How much I absolutely...
Everything reminds you of how much you hate her.
No, but this is the issue. This more than any other issue is why. Because she's a bloodthirsty neocon. She's a
war hawk. She's a total war hawk.
She is, somebody who is heavily funded, particularly by Raytheon, Honeywell, and General Dynamics, and has been for a very long time. She was desperately trying to get President Trump to invade Venezuela. Did one of those, as you know, publicity stunts where she clearly was under armored guard, but went to the border line between Colombia and Venezuela, and was with Representative, the one from 27, whom forgetting her name.
The one who beat Donna Shalala?
Yeah, Donna Shalala. So the two of them were there and, acting like, oh, we have to liberate these people. I'm like, the people that always call for war are comfortable white suburbanites. They're the ones who always are willing to say, let's go to war. Let's do this because this is what our country needs. And again, your story just completely crystallizes how much that lady should not be representing our country.
Anybody who takes money from the military-industrial complex should not be representing.
And that is true on the one hand, but then it goes to a completely different stratosphere when that person is literally advocating for war, for it, saying that we have to go there, we have to go into Cuba.
Oh yeah, no, she was suggesting that we bomb Cuba.
I mean, that's why I'm such a unicorn, because again, there are veterans who are on the left. There are some, Tammy Duckworth is the left, according to the right. There are some veterans who are on the Democratic side. Tim Lieu is a veteran. He's an Air Force veteran. There's a few more veterans who are. Pete Buttigieg is a veteran. But these guys, I'm not denigrating their service. Everybody in service plays a role. Tim Lieu never seen from behind the desk. Pete Buttigieg went on like 2 supply convoys. They didn't fight. I'm telling you right now, I'm such a unicorn because I'm not only a leftist, I'm a democratic socialist, but I was a goddamn grunt. I was an infantryman. I did 3 tours. Most people do 1 tour and that's it. If you do 2 tours, you're Billy Badass. I did 3 and it was going on a 4th before I got out of the military. I had 9 months left on my contract and they were trying to send me on a 4th tour. If I had 11 months or more, I would have went on a 4th tour. Because I had 9 months, I was in what they call a terminal window. So I'm getting out. I can't go on a 4th tour. When I got to my new unit, I came down on orders in May of 2012 to go back to Afghanistan after I just got back from Afghanistan. So I was getting ready to go on my 4th. And most people don't do that at all. You just go on 1 and that's it. So, and not only that, I've been to both fields of battle. I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan, which is also a unique thing. So I've been to both. So I've seen it from both. And not only that, I did it as a private, a brand new E1 in the Army. And I did it as a squad leader, a leader of soldiers in combat. So I was that guy at 18, not knowing what the hell was going on. And then by the time I was 25, I was that guy with the 5 other 18-year-olds behind me. They having to listen to me. So I encompassed the whole, sphere of experiences in war and combat. And there's nobody on our side who can tell this story because maybe they don't want to tell it, but I haven't found anybody on our side who has this particular story to where if anybody tries any type of pushback, any type of BS, I can easily quell it and knock it down because I'm like, listen, I've been there, I've done that, I got the goddamn t-shirt to prove it.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask you this. I mean, we had talked about the last time you were on about how for where you grew up, that the military is basically the jobs program. That's what there was. Like, that's what was available. That's how you got out. But at what point when you were serving, did you have like your realization that this is bullshit?
February 9th, 2013.
How long had you been in?
I was in at that point, not 2013, excuse me, February 9th, 2009. I was in that point almost 4 years. I was on my second tour, almost 4 years. The night before, so we had just touched down in Iraq. We had just got all of our equipment and stuff. This is my second tour. And the night before you go out on a mission, you do a briefing. You know, and we were doing something called a left seat, right seat ride, meaning the unit that we were replacing, 2 of their trucks would go out and show us the AO, the area of operations, and 2 of our trucks would go out so we can get familiar with the area of operations. So the night before, I was joking with my Lieutenant Bro, and I was like, sir, watch me get blown up on our first patrol tomorrow. And I'll never forget, he looked at me, he's like, this is his first deployment. He's my lieutenant. He's in charge of me. This is his first deployment ever. I'm 22 at the time, and I'm already a seasoned veteran because I already got 15 months under my belt from Iraq the first time. And Lieutenant Bro was like, James, shut the hell up. Don't say that. I was like, sir, you really think I can control whether we die or not? I was like, if I could control that, I wouldn't even be here right now. Long story short, we go out on patrol. We just leave the gate. We left Kirkuk Regional Air Base. I'll never forget the route. It's stuck in my head. We went out the gate. We made a right on Route Cheyenne. We went about a quarter of a mile, and we made a left on what we call Route Ford because it had a lot of Iraqi car dealerships and people and markets and all that stuff. So all of our routes were named. So we called it Route Ford. I was the 4th truck in the convoy. And I'm doing all the things I remember from my first deployment in Iraq, in Baghdad. My second deployment was in northern Iraq, in Kirkuk, the one I'm telling you about. So the enemy used completely different tactics. So I'm doing all the stuff that I did on my first deployment. I'm behind the machine gun. I'm behind my 50 cal, 106-inch 50 caliber bullets. They were armor piercing incendiary, meaning they pierce up to 2 inches of armor and then they catch stuff on fire inside the armor once they pierce them. And I'm looking left and right. I'm scanning my head, and out of the corner of my eye, I see 2 young males standing in an alleyway. And the movement is what caught my eye. He was throwing a grenade. Yeah. He had a grenade like this. And our turrets were electronic. So the turret moved slower than my head. I saw his arm cock, and I turned my head to the left. And just like in the movies, there was a grenade, huge grenade coming at me in slow motion. And I'll never forget, I said, shit, he got me. I was like, there's nothing I can do. It's coming at me. I can see it coming. There's nothing I can do. It hit on the top of my truck. By the grace of God, it bounced up. It bounced to the side of my truck. And as soon as it bounced to the side, boom, it exploded. And that's what blew out my eardrum. And that's when I knew I almost just died 5 minutes into this patrol. And I got another 364 more days of this. What the hell am I? And I already did this. Why am I here? Who sent me back here? And what the hell am I doing in this country? That's when I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm done with this.
And that, unfortunately, and again, I did not serve, but only from the people that I've spoken to, your peripheral vision takes on a whole new meaning when you're serving in combat, because you have to see everything, you have to feel everything, and it's almost like you have to have eyes in the back of your head, because a lot of what ultimately happens on the battlefront is you are essentially sensing nature. Like, you are hearing things that you would never hear if you were in regular society, but in warfare, you know, when that pin drops, you can hear it from 100 yards away, but you know it, and you're like, oh, we're getting attacked right now. And you only have literally seconds to react, if you have seconds to react. And as you said, it just so happened that when and this was probably an inexperienced kid, but somebody who may have been part of Al-Qaeda, he didn't count it correctly. He probably missed the count by 2 or 3 seconds, and he launched it. And it just so happens, because he missed the count, that it didn't explode as soon as it hit the truck. He thought he timed it right, but as it turns out, he didn't. And that's why you're alive. Again, I didn't serve.
Listen, that's one. I got you. If I told you how many times I almost died, you'd think I was bullshitting you. You'd think I was making it up. I have story after story of hiding behind dirt mounds and bullets are hitting right here. And I'm like, okay, it's over. I'm going to bite one of these. I got stories of IEDs going off, shooting what we call an explosively formed penetrator, which is a giant slug of metal that they form that shoots out like an RPG, literally passing and taking off the front of my truck and missing my legs by inches. I have so many stories of almost dying. You would not believe it. That was the first time.
That shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't be a thing. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.